Okay, so it's June 12th, 2018, around 7:26. This is the second part of the video today. Well, it's video blog, drama vlog, 65. So I'm gonna get into the people. There's some firefighters that were here and stuff. So I don't want to disrespect all the firefighters in the world, or the police, or the FBI, or the government, or everybody that's like authority figures that whatever, even shot callers, gangs, everybody that uses force and power and violence for whatever sake of good or not good. I haven't used violence. I've kind of been the other guys, part of the other team. But I'm good at violence. I mean, I'm not good at violence, but I'm good. I guess I'm good at violence. I'm good at physical altercation if I need to. I think I haven't had to use it for a lot. So I don't know. Good at sports, say it like that. So anyway, when I was living in Chico, stopped working for Voice, was doing my own thing, did the synthesis shows, still living at 42 Oak Drive. Dad was there. All this stuff happened. Broke up with this girl, hung out with all these other girls, raising my son. He was going to this school. Nothing really was on my radar other than the normal stuff. And then somehow Seward came into my world again, and he was like, "Hey, here's this computer, where the voice is done." And so I don't know. I mean, I know there was a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't know at the time, but I know now. But I didn't hear nothing about Fight Club till later, and whatever their Fight Club is, whether it's Get Daniel Fight Club or a real let's get a bunch of guns together and worry about it. And the reason that I don't think it was all about me, but I just happened to be the Mexican that was there, that was outspoken. So this racial stuff was happening, Bush was happening, and right before Obama was president. But there was this guy that was or the synthesis dude was talking about, I got a lot of because I had to do a few shows, so I got a lot of weird feedback from weird situations with these guys going into their newspaper place and talking to them. So there was some good vibes and some bad vibes, and the bad vibes came from the dudes, and there was this gay girl. So I don't know how gay people ended up being part of the story, but they ended up being part of the story. So whether Lisa was gay, her best friend was gay, the guy, and he worked at Duffy, or he was part of hanging out with Duffy's all the time. And so this guy didn't like me to begin with, and supposedly because I was a bad guy and I didn't really take her on as a girlfriend and all that stuff like that. So, but she knew why, and I knew why, and I don't know why, and that's her friend, so I understand. But I wasn't trying to be cool guy and trying to be hey, play games with her. I was just, she would come around where I was all the time, and I tried to be the nicest I could. And it's tough when you go through heartbreak. So I don't know. I could take responsibility for a lot of that, but I know where my heart. I'm trying to explain it in a story. That's a whole different story. But so it was weird because the Voice people were kind of still around town too, artists and stuff. They weren't at Voice, but they were just people that I knew already. So they were part of the scene, the art scene in Chico. But I hadn't seen Seward for a while. He got with this girl, working at Butte. He was doing his own thing and being a guy, being his business guy. Trying to fit into. I don't know what he was doing really. But some bad things happened. as far as that stuff to him, but he came at me after, or came in and gave me the computer. I had a computer from Fifth Sun that I had from San Francisco when I was working in Daly City. So that one kind of went kaput. So I ended up using that one so there was some issues with that. They were trying to see what my cookies are and all this, and that's a whole nother story. But I kind of went over that already. But I don't see why that should be. There was no super weird shit on that, so I don't know. We can go more into that whenever they want to, but whatever. That's where this girl Sarah Spencer. No, not Sarah. Sarah. What was her name? Can't remember her name right now. She did the painting in my room, like with the girl, and I don't know. I'll go into that story more. I don't know if I already went into it, but she, like on Facebook, like she was like in New Orleans or whatever, and like talking about like. I guess she was like a social worker over there, and then she was from Paradise, and I knew her before Voice. I don't know where I knew her from. Oh yeah, like I said, I knew her from art school, painting class. Like there was a gathering towards the end of my Butte college life semester, or going to school there, and then I had met her there, talked to her for a long time, telling her about Tales of Scarcity and that painting. She did that painting, and I was like, oh man, that painting's awesome. I was doing the Poet King stuff, so I was like, well, that painting's awesome. And eventually she let me borrow it or use it, or now I have it forever. Like I tried to give it back to her, but I guess it was too much drama and she didn't pick it up from my brother's house. But she did like come before that, like she was coming around here and there. So I was always trying to like say what up to her. She knew I liked her, but she was like, kind of like bringing other girls around, and like beautiful women that were like were hanging out. And so it was kind of always like a weird thing until I finally told her, hey, I like you, like what's up. So it was kind of weird because I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was. So there was a lot of stuff, but I always thought she liked me, but then and I kind of could tell Stewart liked her. So one of the conversations at Voice, because she was working in Paradise while Voice was going on, so that's when I saw her again, and I was like, well, but I kind of noticed he liked her too, whatever. And so there was a couple girls like that he would like try to man up and be like, whoa, and like try to jump in there and be like, hey, talking to him, first or whatever. So I don't know what the whole situation was, but she was one of them. And his girlfriend was there at the time, Maya, and she kind of like was going for it. I was talking to her, and we were like, she knew I liked her. Like I did like her. She was one of those girls that I was like, man. She reminded me of that movie, that girl from Amelia. Like she looked like I don't know. Anyway, she had an elegant, funny. She had a really gorgeous girl. Like I don't even know. But anyway, I think she's with a Marine right now. Some Marine guy, which is totally weird. I don't know. But what was I saying? So she, so he throws out like, oh, isn't your girlfriend and sociology major or whatever? We all had dinner. There was like 5 of us, and there was girls, and then me and him, and I was, like, I hadn't seen her for a long time, so I was like, well, or I seen her, but I was like, man, like, just went goo goo gaga over her every time I saw her. I was like, wow. So I was like, and she was, kind of, she always gave me good attention and like vibes and everything. So I was like, temporarily, it was like, saying wow. And he had to throw in some, again, monkey wrench in there, so mess it up. And so she was like, oh, okay, I'm leaving. So she ended up leaving dinner. It was like messed up situation, but whatever, like there was plenty. I guess supposedly she had a boyfriend at the time when I was talking to her too. So that was just one of the situations that she was. So, but that story goes more into that. But that's kind of me and Stewart's relationship. Like we always had this relationship of this weird competition, like whether it was girls or art or whatever. Like he always threw me. And there was a few guys like this. There was like my cousin had a few cousins like this, you know, and brother and cousin, other, you know, like a lot of the males that were in my, and maybe normal, but it was a little bit. Through time, it was like, man, like I don't know. It could be me, like I said, you know. I think people attract what they put out in the world. So I tried never to take people's girlfriends, or you know, I really did shy away most of the time when that situation arose, and I would try to leave the situation, and so that's more of my character than trying to steal these girls from their boyfriends or whatever, which is the story, you know. So yeah, so Seward like kind of switched up, and I don't know, like I did have some issues with the Miros thing, because she would flirt with all my, you know, she was a flirt. She was not just a flirt, but she was like fucking enchantress kind of chick. Like she was able to, like, you know, turn on her, and that's how she was that from the beginning. So I never like took that away from her, or tried to like take that away from her, or condemn her for it or whatever, because that was her, you know. Like she was that kind of girl, beautiful, very sensual in the way she moved, talked, and everything. So she was able to do that to guys, and you know, so she played me, you know. She was my girlfriend and everything, and we were together, and we had all these dreams and hopes, you know, like here and there. But she was definitely like had her own thing going on. So everything that we had together was a yin and yang. But I appreciated the good side of her so much that you know, that the bad side was just a byproduct of it, you know. And I didn't know enough at the time, but it was just something that I was willing to, because I had that in me too. So you know, I was trying to tame my own, you know, ways of not being faithful or whatever. But I didn't do it like her. I was a different kind of. She would do it like right in front of me, or whatever, like flirt with my cousins or whatever. Like, and then she would be like, "Oh, this guy's a dork," and they were dorks. There was half of them were fucking hella dorky. So I don't know if she just liked dorks, but she's, you know, she ended up with me. So it wasn't like, but there was a few guys here and there that, you know, that she had on her roster. So yeah, so I don't take too much blame for the judgment of how our relationship went, if I, you know, cheated on her there and there, because there was some drama going on. But anyway, so that's not the case. So I was still like the girl, Sarah, and then so Seward was there, and you know, he was one of the dudes that every time she was around, he was always talking to her, like always, like, you know, trying to sit next to her, and like, and you know, and I was so secure with him that I was like, like, I'm not gonna worry about this guy, because I'm not worried about this guy. I don't know. But yeah, you know, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I don't know if she was just playing games with me or whatever, but I didn't let that bother me. Other things bothered me, but there was that competition, just to know that he was trying to do that. You know, trying to be like, you know, because he was that way with a lot of girls. He got taught by his mother, I think. Like, he knew how to like schmoozle, bardoozle with girls, and like be their buddies and be like, "Hey, buddy," but really, like, he's hooking up with them or whatever. So I don't know. So that's kind of, but I don't know. That's all hearsay shit, like normal guy girl shit. But what wasn't cool was how he came in, and like I already talked about how he came in and tried to be like, "Hey, you know, she's cheating," not telling me, but showing me like, "Hey, you know, she's with another dude." And there was a few different guys like that, or different other acquaintances that tried to do that too. So I didn't really think about it more than, oh, maybe they're just trying to show me that she's with somebody else. but it wasn't really something I didn't know. That's the thing, is I knew this stuff. I'm not stupid, but why would you want to like try to rub it in, try to be like, hey, look at, you know, try to make it a social thing about it, because we were already playing those games already, like for the whole time. So I didn't need Seward to try to do that, you know, try to throw his monkey wrench in there. More than, and the thing is that an issue with that is me and him had issues, so there was some issues between me and him, like, that I didn't, but, and I'm not going to go into that yet. I want to talk about the fire thing first. So at the time, okay, so the guy with the sentences was like saying something about, or somebody was saying something on Facebook or whatever, you know, learning a lot of shit through Facebook, but people making comments. This is early days, so people were still saying their emotions on there. And he was saying something about like, or somebody was saying something about like, oh, you know, like I would get along with some other person other than the racial thing. So there was a white pride dude going around town, I guess, that had political issues, and they thought that I was all super political, which is funny because I don't know if I guess I must come across that way. I don't know, through my Facebook posts or my, I don't know what, like my art, I don't know what it is, but maybe I do have some of that, but I'm not like all some military guy, you know, like I like Rage Against the Machine, but I'm not like, you know, trying to be all militaried out and like starting a coup on America. Like, that's not my focus. My real main goal is to see how much love, how much acceptance, how much beauty can put in this world. And that has, you know, and when you go against people that are trying to do this hate stuff, sometimes it comes, you know, like, protect yourself, you know, there is a protection thing, like, damn. And I learned that the hard way too, you know. So anyway, so what's messed up is that nobody told me about this other stuff. Like, he didn't tell me about like all this other stuff that was happening. So I'm kind of taking it in the way where, you know, they're supposedly my friends, but were they doing the white pride thing? So yeah, so there's supposed to be some guy around town, but then the reason that they said it is because, oh well, but he thinks men and women should be, you know, gay people or, you know, not cool. And the girl that worked there, she was a graphic designer there, and she was gay. She was, you know, and so that was a issue with the guys, people from Synthesis. So I guess this local guy that was like, you know, had stuff going or whatever in the white power realm or whatever. I don't know what this is all like shit that already happened. I don't know where it is, or if it's not like it's the first time this ever happened or whatever. This was just was happening at the time that I happened to be there and I was working with them, and I was involved in this somehow, and I don't know how I was involved. So I'm just putting it out there so that the full story is kind of there. So yeah, so I was working with these people that were also like cool with worrying about white people getting taken over, and you know what I mean? So their loyalty or cool vibes with me, that was part of their vibes with me, was, you know, they were actually, you know, doing the Bush thing where they're worried about, like, you know, getting white people more in power again, you know, trying to make America great again or whatever, as the slogan goes. So, and that's where Seward kind of fell in, you know, and he started changing, that started happening. The thing with the violin dude, that happened. I don't know if that was what changed him up, but he was trying to get me to hang out with this group, you know, like, a little bit too much, you know, and I wasn't even interested, you know. It wasn't like there was any hot chicks that were hanging out there, but he did put me in some places where there was some hot chicks, and that was some appreciated, but I don't know if there was agendas there, because like I said, I think he was trying to get in between me and Milos' relationship at the time. I guess he even talked to her when I was leaving that, oh, you know, why don't take her away or whatever. And I don't know what conversation he had, and that's fucked up for your friend to try to tell your girlfriend, don't, like, in secret, like, telling how to manipulate your life or whatever, you know, trying to get me to stay in Butte County and not leave with the girl. You know, could have been better. If I probably should have stayed, but I didn't. So I don't know. There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. I don't know what was what. So it's not that I hate anybody or whatever, but there was just some weird stuff that was happening. And it goes on and on. Like, fuck, I don't even want to go through it all. So anyway, so one of the main ones was there was issues when I lived with Sarah and Brian, and he was like, "Oh, that guy's weird. I don't know about that guy," about Brian or whatever. And so I don't know if they were in cahoots because they were all saying the same kind of thing about, you know, Fight Club stuff or whatever. I don't know what they were doing, but so I don't know. But so there was some situations that was kind of weird between them, that it seemed like they were on opposing sides, and they had me in the middle, seeing who I was loyal to and what I would say and do and blah blah blah. So they were trying to escalate their situation, but they were also trying to put me in some weird places. Like, he took me, like, I don't know if he was trying to set me up or not. So I don't know, like, or if he was just trying to see what my reaction was, and blah, blah, I don't know what he was trying to do. So, but I do know what I heard was that Lenny, his friend, was doing a blog or trying to talk a lot of smack about me online, and you know, there was the drugs involved in all that scene. So I don't know what they were doing because I wasn't hanging out with them at the time, but it seemed like they got escalated. I never saw that dude other than on Facebook, and he was the girl, Jennifer Peterson. She was a worker at Voice, and we hooked up later, and after a while, like, Midos was working over, and I were going to school, and we broke up or whatever. And so this girl was just hanging around, and she was of age. She wasn't like some little kid or nothing. So I don't know where all this, like, other stuff, well, I kind of do, but I'm gonna go through it. But, like, it wasn't part of that. Like, you know, I don't know. I think she was like 21 or 23. I don't know where that was, but she was a mature girl. I don't know. She was cool. I mean, she was all right. Like I said, I had a girlfriend when I was working at Voice most of the time, so I wasn't trying to be, like, you know, hooking up with Gigi or all these people, you know, like all these co-workers. But there was always a lot of girls that were, like, trying to say what up. And as far as the youth, no. You know what I mean? I don't know if they were trying to test me during that time or what, but no, nothing. So, but this girl was a worker, and she was just hanging out, and, like, you know, we messed around. Yeah. And so when I broke it off with her, because I ended up getting back with Milos or whatever, and, like, she ended up with the dude Lenny. And this is towards the end of Voice already. So, like, you know, right before I went to San Fran. Or back to San Fran. So she had weird feelings towards me. I don't know, it was weird. I don't know if she was like trying to, like, I don't know how she got like in a relationship with the dude, like, real quick, and they got married or whatever. I don't know what the thing was, and so she wanted to show me the ring and all this stuff. So she ended up working at Enlo, and so a lot of stuff was happening during that time and situation, and I hadn't talked to him since, you know, so I don't know. But, you know, just to hear that this guy was talking shit about me, it was like, because, you know, he came around me a couple times and was, like, trying to do the, you know, getting pissed off kind of thing around me. I was like, dude, he already knew we were together, and, like, if you want to be your boyfriend now, like, don't come try to mad dog me, because we have to be around the same place. So So yeah, so that was that guy in that situation. So I don't know, like kind of like the bass player in my old band. Like these guys just want to like talk smack. These guys are like these bass players, you know. They just want to like, I don't know, carry grudges or whatever. I don't know what, like trying to do the online talking shit online. So I don't know. I haven't read anything or whatever, but kind of what I get from this situation story is that they, you know, they seem to feel empowered because they were computer guys. They were both computer guys, and they were both like, you know, always felt threatened by me because Seward was my friend. Or, you know, he was always hanging out. So the guy wanted to be Seward's main friend. So he was like, you know, always kind of. He was cool at the beginning. I don't know, like I don't know what happened. So I don't know. No, everybody kind of, like, who knows? I don't know if I changed all kinds, but sometimes, you know, people. So once that happened, he totally was like aggro every time I saw him, or, you know, kind of like trying to man up. Because before that, he was this happy-go-lucky guy. So after that, he was trying to be manly every time he saw me. So I was just like, I'm not even part of this story guy. So yeah, so that happened, and then so the firefighter thing. So Seward, like, hadn't seen him for a while. Did the synthesis shows, and then he invites me to this, like, to go drink some. You know, that's kind of what we did when we hung out. We drank and stuff. So I didn't drink a few beers. I wasn't a heavy drinker. I didn't get all crazy or whatever, but he was a party guy, you know, like everyone. And that's kind of, you hang out, you get a party a little bit, or, you know, drink, whatever. So we met up at U Bar, drank some beers, took a shot or something, and there was this other guy with him, and I don't know, supposedly this guy was like from up north somewhere, and he was his buddy, and they were like, he was showing the guy around, and, you know, white dude, kind of a little older than us, but like cool guy, seemed like a normal guy, kind of country dude, but he was kind of like dark brown hair kind of dude. And then we went to down low, and the down low, he had his dog with him. Stewart had his dog. It was a little like ninja, or I forget what it was called. It was like a little sumo dog. Sumo. Yeah. It was like a wiener dog, hairy wiener dog. I don't know. So the dog was with him, and then he was like, he had this dog for a long time. Him and the girl from Voice, Maya at the time, was his girlfriend, and they had dogs. And so we went to downstairs to the down low underneath one of the bars, and then so yeah, so it was kind of weird. We drank a couple of beer and then a shot, and he was like, said something. What did he say? He was telling me about some stuff on the walk over there. Like, I was like, there's a street drummer, hippie people that were playing on the side of the road all the time, and once in a while I'd stop by and like hang out with them and play music with them for the night, you know. And so I was passing by. It was still daytime, and I was like, yeah. So I stopped real quick, and I was like, and played, and then I saw this guy pass me, and he stopped, and he was like, basically he was following us, but he was like, stopped, and he was like, hey, you know, you want some weed, or I don't know what he said. And so he said something about that. I was like, no, whatever, I forgot exactly, but that's when I first saw him. And then I ended up going there all to the place, about a block and a half away, and or a block away. And then so the guy shows up later, and before that, Sue was telling me about something about like I don't know, the Fight Club thing or the firefighters. The story keeps coming up where there was supposed to be some stuff with you know, this group of people that were like getting together and meeting and learning how to fight and doing, like, I don't know what they were doing, but fighting, I don't know. So the guy goes there and puts on a big show, like he's telling the whole bar. And it was like 10, 15 people in there. And like the bartender was this guy Toby, and the guy seemed pretty cool, like I had known before, and like through Seward and stuff like that. But so I don't know, they all got quiet, but the guy was like, hey, you know, who wants to be part of the military? We're hiring, you know, whatever. You need a job. He told Seward, you need a job, give you a job or whatever. Seward was like, I don't need no job, you know, like I know what you're doing, kind of thing. Like I know your thing. So they were kind of trying to intimidate me, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, what did he say? He was like, he said something racial or whatever, and I was like, I'm not allowed in this bar because I'm Mexican. You don't want me to be here because I'm Mexican or whatever. And he's like, yeah, pretty much, and like really bold. And this is kind of like says the story of where this place was at, because the whole bar was like, you know, this other big old burly white dude that was beard. Everybody had their beards, and they were just like, and I was just looked around. I was like, motherfucker, you know, like fuck you, dude. And I told him, I was like, fuck you. I was like, fuck you too, Seward, you know, like. And so I walked out, and I don't know, it could have been 2 shots of tequila, but I was just like, fuck you guys, you know, like, because it was, you know, fucking nothing was said, you know, like I was basically saying fucking fuck you, Mexican. And I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, so instead of being fighting or whatever, like this was all new to me. So I was just like, wow, dude, like that was, you know. So guy and Seward and the other guy ended up following me, and like eventually, like I don't know where I went. I went somewhere and they ended up going there. I don't know what it was, but Denny's, or I don't know. I think I went to go get some fries because I had been drinking. So, and they walked in or something like that, and so they were saying something about like, I don't know what he said. I think we all went together or something. I don't know. And he was like, "Do you gotta choose sides? You know, like time. You know, like saying something about choosing sides." And I was like, choosing sides, like, so I was taking it as a racial thing. I was like, okay. And so that was an issue. And then we talked, and he was saying something about like, would you kill your dog if you, the other guy was like, so there was some other innuendo shit that they were talking about, which I believe it was probably some other stuff. But the thing was that this guy that I supposedly was my friend and I trusted was like talking some shit. So whether he believed it or whatever, just the fact that he didn't fucking ask me, for all these people, you know, like my story is not so bad or you can't ask me, like, so everyone that's talking a lot of shit, to the place where, to the source of the people saying it, like, all of you guys should have asked me, should have confronted me first, should have said, hey, you know, this is a situation to begin with, and if not, like, shouldn't have let it escalate to there, because you guys are, you know, this is to the place where my life, these people trying to make my life into something that they believe that they need to judge and dissect, and without me having to say so in the situation, trying to put me in situations, you know what I'm saying? So whatever, I know society says whatever they want to say, but fuck that, dude. Like these are the same people that say racism don't exist. These are the same people that fucking don't take fucking, oh, this is America, you know, these are the people like, this is America, fucking, if you don't like it, leave it. Fuck that, dude. Like, these guys ain't my buddies. These guys don't have the same viewpoint as I have. Like, how are you gonna try to tell me, like, or judge me without me having to say so, without me having a right to you know, say, hey, my truth about my life, and feel that justice was served or whatever. So that's kind of situation. And it's not even just that, because then, like I said, it goes into multimedia stuff. Like, dude, all these movies and all this music and all this, like, and like I said, you know, those videos were really made and that really happened. Like, these people came into my world and hypnotized me and did that weird shit. Like, that's fucked up shit, you know what I mean? Like, really. Like, so I don't know if they want to know if I hate white people or if I hate, like, dude, how are you gonna justify that? How are you gonna justify nothing that I've done in my life can justify that? Like, there's nothing that that justifies that, you know. There's people walking around, I feel stupid talking about this stuff. Voices going out already, but, you know, it's just kind of like try to give me a murder sentence, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like the Jessica Drew Netflix show, you know, like they did Purple Man at the beginning, trying to make me like I'm a purple man. And then the second one was like, you know, oh, you know, this guy's a good guy. But propaganda and TV and movies and all this stuff, like news, like this stuff is very powerful stuff. You can brainwash, obviously you can brainwash people very easily, and not easily maybe, but like you can do it really well. You just put a bunch of stuff in the news and people start like believing it and acting out on it and getting all weird on it. So agendas, especially if I'm part of the agendas, like, dude, like, so like I said, all this Cosby stuff and all this, like, what else was there, Weinstein, and you know what I'm saying, like stories that fit the story, your story, where not your story, but like they want to like escalate it, like the Me Too movement. Like I said, I believe in the Me Too movement in a way where, of course, people should be accountable for messed up things, but at the same time, like this one Asian guy got busted over here, Hmong guy got busted. He owned a muffler shop, and I guess he offered sex he wanted sex for work, you know, whatever, for stuff. And so I don't know exactly what he got busted for, sexual harassment, or I don't know, but they wanted to give him like all kinds of years and $750,000 bail. So it was crazy. Like, I don't know if that's all true, if it's fake. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like a lot of the stuff that they're throwing out there has been fake, but enough of it, I'm sure, has been true where, you know, I mean, it's not like it's not true. There is human sex trafficking and all that stuff. But to try to put my name into there, or try to, you know, like, that's like some death sentence kind of stuff that they've been trying to do. So now I have, you know, the agenda is to get me to start talking so that I can condemn myself and blah, blah, blah. Supposedly I'm too smart. Seriously, I've been me the whole time. So everything that for the most part, like, you know, these last couple of years, like I've said, you know, like I have been kind of like more cautious of like talking about stuff, but I'm putting that out on these video blogs. But, you know, like, I'm acting out because I've been acting out because I've been attacked, you know, like, you know, if you keep putting gay dudes around me and like trying to see if I'm gay, like it's just gonna start pissing me off and like, and you know, all that stuff, you know, like antagonize me, and you know, like wasting my time, dude. This has been a lot of years already, and that's what I really believe the agenda is. You want to throw me in prison, I would have already been out by now. I do appreciate not going to prison. I do appreciate not dying. I do appreciate being able to work on myself, but I'm still poor, and nothing that I have been able to do in this life accomplished, like, you know, raising my son, having a wife and family and all that stuff, has been directly taken away by the agenda of these people that are supposedly running the show, trying to question if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. And but the reality is, like, it's been 7 years, you know what I mean, 10 years, 20 years, who knows how long. but they're, you know, like, yeah, I get to go, you know, like, the situations are not there. Legally, maybe they, you know, like girls want to hook up with a dude to get a muffler. Like, is that really criminal? I don't know. Like, but my situation, if they want to put every single one of them into a category and try to see where it fits, like, and if it was truthful, honest, like, picture of who I am or whatever, kind of like, I don't fit in those categories. I'm not that guy. I'm not a Weinstein. I'm not a Jared from Subway. I'm not a Cosby. I'm not a Michael Jackson. The only comparison is I've been accused of some stuff that maybe, you know, got set up like Michael Jackson, but, you know, I've never fucking done that weird, like, I never had no pictures of naked kids and be like, hey, you know, it's art, you know, and that's where it gets into the setup part, or, you know, like, if people, Sarah put some, you know, she took pictures of Isaiah when he was a kid, and, you know, fucking how they ended up in my house or whatever, like, the fuck, like, there's a whole, I just have a book, I have all this stuff sitting there, and it's like, not my shit, other people's shit, and that shit's not my shit. So if other people were on that thought process and trying to make something into something, like, that's not me. And as far as, like, my son, like, sleeping in my room when I was working, and then, like, him visiting, and he's like in, you know, 7th grade, 6th grade, it's like I stay up all night and working, so, like, go ahead, go sleep in my room, like, it's more comfortable in there, and, like, and then if I get tired, like, I'm gonna go lay down and fucking, instead of on the couch. And I was used to him being a little kid, so, and the issue was that I had issues with feeling guilty of not spending enough time with him and whatever, so, and him having his troubled issues and, you know, being overweight and all this stuff, and so I kind of just wanted to show him that I loved him and comfort him. That was the issue. So them trying to turn it into something else is like, you know what, fuck that shit, dude. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, you know, he was visiting not as much as, like, not a lot. He was at his mom's most of the time and with his dad or stepdad, and, like, so anybody trying to make that into something is super fucked up. And same thing with Dave Matthews concert. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, Katrina Bambula, like, I don't know, like, supposedly that stuff, like, you know, confusing the issue, whatever, but, dude, what's that movie, with the bees? It's like, come on, dude, you guys are, like, taking this shit to the extreme level. And now that I know some other stuff, you know, I'm like, okay, but why are you trying to focus on everything else? And I understand a lot of people have been involved, and a lot of people, but like I said, I'm not there. I'm not that person. Like, I don't know, you know, and it had me thinking, it had me guessing. Like, I was thinking myself too, like, what? And, like, but I knew my situations and intentions and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, you know, just a man, first of all, but I'm definitely not a homosexual dude, and I'm not a racist against, maybe a little racist against white folks, but not unjustly, where, not all white folks, you know what I mean? If I meet a normal person and we have a conversation, it's all good. But if we have, like, a weird kind of, like, you know, if there's racial tension, to begin with, of like, why are you legal or whatever. I got a lot of that in my life, so it's more of a reaction than an action. So when people say I'm racist, it's like, well, if you understood how much like racist comments I've gotten in my life, you would kind of understand why I am pretty touchy about that situation. So that's part of that. So the firefighter people, right? So the guy was a firefighter who's hiring people, and that thing is, it's a big issue over here with the firefighter stuff. And then I met that dude through Christian, to the dude, the Ramona Sky guys, and that guy was supposedly like the guy that popped my tire, talking stupid shit. I don't know if they were doing devil worship or stuff or what, but they were doing something in the woods that Kristen called him out on, and so there was some issues, like with that. And it wasn't the only people that I heard it from. There was this other bass player guy that was like saying he was there and he got punched in the nose and blah blah blah, and like he's not a fighter. I don't know. So, but I do know that a lot of the white folks around that town at that time were speaking on, like, acting like that, because I was doing art shows, and so they would come around and like say fucked up shit as comments, like saying little things here and there, not towards me, but like racial stuff. And I saw it in the town, they were breaking windows of the culture and cafe culture and all this stuff. And so there was a lot of issues, not just me, like it was like trying to take out. And then when I passed by Duffy's with Sarah Spencer, like they were like saying something like, oh, because she was leaving town, got rid of one of them. That's what they said. Duffy's, it's a fucking Mick bar or whatever you call that, like what do you call that, Irish thing. And the Irish thing was also at the what do you call that, at the Blue Room. So I don't know, so I was kind of surrounded by a lot of this stuff, and but I got to see it, and that's kind of why I'm talking about it, is because it's like, that was happening at that time, and it was very prevalent, and attention wasn't just about me. But I guess, now that I think about it, a lot of it was about me. So I was trying to differentiate the two. I didn't come out like that. Maybe I did, but they were definitely had their own agenda thing going on. Obviously, it's not, Mexican thing is not just something that I just made up. There has been some issues with that, with the racial issues, and the Native American thing, and the 2012 thing, and the whole like worried about if Mexicans are taking over kind of thing, like that Planet of the Apes, like you can put it in the movies too, like it's been a whole issue, like they're worried about that. Those are the backdrop of my society at this time, so this is why I was like very hesitant to even like know what was going on, first of all, and talking about it, second of all. And the way Seward fit in is, you said a few things that were like in that same category of that, and that's why I was like, him and Lenny were talking, and they said something, and I was like, I called him out on it. He's like, oh, I'm not racist. And the guy, black dude that was there, Jason, that guy like grew up in paradise. I don't want to talk shit about everybody, but man, like he's definitely, trying to, he was fitting in. He was trying to fit in, the token black guy kind of guy. So I don't know what all their whole situation was. I don't know if they got set up to and got torn out down, but they were pretty bad, in a pretty bad situation during that time too. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't really hang out with them that a lot, but I did see them around town. But the whole firefighter thing was an issue. And then the girl that I ended up breaking up with, this guy from out of town came in and like swooped her up and all this stuff like this. Some young dude that was like some Ashton Kutcher kind of dude. ended up like being a firefighter too. So I don't know if that was just I don't know what that was all about, but I haven't talked to her or whatever for a long time, and that's pretty fucked up. So that makes me question, what the heck? So I don't know. I mean, it's already past tense, but during that time, it was kind of like, what? Kind of weird. So yeah, I mean, like I said, and that's why I think it comes with the Mexican thing, because the whole weed growing thing and the whole being in the woods and the whole setting fires and all this stuff. Who knows who was setting the fires and who was growing the weed and who was out in the woods and who was doing a fight club and all this shit. So, I mean, the weed thing is a whole national thing. You know what I'm saying? This is some really serious stuff that people die for. And so, yes, I'm happy I'm alive, and talking about it is not what I want to do. But I'm trying to clear my name over here, especially with why somebody would set me up, how I got into these things. And like I said, as far as I don't know, there's a lot of things I don't know. That's what's scary about it. I don't want to talk about stuff that I don't know about. So I'm saying what I do know and kind of how my friends switch me up. So one thing, so another thing that Sewer did was weird. So this girl Rachel, which was wife, my friend Stevens from Butte College, they're all church guys, kind of Seventh-day Adventist, kind of believed in Seventh-day Adventist stuff. She was a hippie girl, her parents were artists. She was cool. I knew her. I didn't meet her till later, but I knew through Seward and Voice and through Paradise, because Stephen was a local Paradise guy, but I knew through him through Butte College painting class, and we had some conversations about Christian stuff. And so I brought him in at the end of Voice when I left, and when I came back, he was still there, but they went through divorce. Before that, in Paradise, before I had left or whatever, Milos was there, and I played some music, and it wasn't always I was just kind of making noise or whatever, and singing some songs here and there, but more still rock and roll kind of. I don't know what it was, but she was like, hey, I really liked your stuff. It was politically charged, I guess, or saying some Bob Dylan stuff and whatever. And so she was like, hey, I really like your music, but called me over and whatever and said it, and I was like, oh, thanks. So I was walking away, and Milos was like, oh, that girl likes you or whatever. And I was like, what? That's my friend's wife. And I never got that vibe. I never gave her that vibe. I never, I didn't even see it. But Milos was jealous, but she was always kind of knew stuff here and there. So that's why I liked her, because she was kind of privy on that stuff, even though she used it for her own power and her own situations, how to, woo guys or whatever. But she knew it when a girl was trying to woo me. So anyway, so that happened. I don't know if that was even true, but years later, so this girl doesn't hang out, just doing painting, hang out with Lisa. She ends up coming to the Blue Room, helping out on the painting with her boyfriend at the time, and the other guy, not Steven. So Steven left, or I don't know where he was, and so this girl comes back into the picture, and I was like, she was good looking. I mean, she was gorgeous, but I didn't really see that. There was a couple times where there was some weird kind of through with some of the girls' voice, like Gigi. There was some weird thing that happened there. Not weird thing, but I kind of got the feeling that she was she got jealous because her cousin was saying what up to me and whatever, and I was like, so I was like, oh, that's weird, because she was still with Jason. We never had nothing going on. So, and then there was some weird stuff when Milos was around, these other girls. This girl Tina came around, Christina. I don't know. So anyways, so one of the things, so I was drawing girls, and girls were coming around my house all the time. Girls, Milos was, moved on. She was in San Fran, and there was a lot of, breaking up with her and all this stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on, but so I draw this girl, and it's my friend's ex-wife, but it's been a few years already. So like, and we had painted a mural with Lisa, and she came and helped out, and so she was part of this like thing here. And now that I think about it, she was part of like, everybody knew about my drama. That's what's so fucked up about the situation. Like, man, I don't know. So, and he didn't like spoken word, which it doesn't say much, but like, just the guy Taz was like, oh, I don't know about that guy. I don't know. He was like this Asian, talk a lot of smack about stuff, but he was like, seemed at the beginning he was down like with what I was putting out in the world or whatever. But him and Sarah seemed like they were, but they got the brunt of a lot of that same stuff too, like, and as well as they gave it to me, they fucking tried to take me out. So Seward, like, so her brother, her other brother, the other guy that was working with Voice a lot, Joel, was like, called me like, hey, can I say tonight or whatever? It was just weird, that whole thing, and I was just like hella heartbroken, hella lonely, hella like in my own vibe, and like I knew he was going through stuff and like something about something, and so I was like, I don't even want to be involved in that, and so I didn't think his thing was dire. He was just kind of like that guy that would try to call things out and see what kind of reaction he got. So supposedly he was like, oh, you know, got his feelings offended or whatever. But I was like, dude, I just don't have enough energy to know what you guys are doing. I don't know. So I felt bad about that after. Like, I was like, oh, I should call him back, and I don't know. So she came over later after all that, and I don't know if Sue set this up or what, but she was like, so I drew her, and we ended up messing around, like, and she came back the next day, and like, I don't know, 3 days or something, and then by the third day I was like, or we didn't get all crazy or whatever. I think the first day was just drawing, and then the last day we messed around, and then the last time I talked to her I was like, oh, I don't know, we can't do that. But right after something, Steven called on the phone. He was like in fucking Singapore or whatever, and he was like, it was way too much coincidence for him to like know what was going on. And I was like, oh man. So I broke it off with her, and she looked like Scarlett Johansson but better looking. So that's how gorgeous she was. And she was Aquarius, so she was down. It was a good chemistry, but like, I don't know if it was real, but it seemed real. Like, but I didn't even go there. So I don't know, but somehow Seward was involved in that. I don't know what. So I don't know who's who and what's what, but my character, as far as messing around with other people's women, like, I did, but I didn't. You know, I think I like, I really, and then I saw him later, like, and I couldn't bring it up because he was with his wife and his new wife was pregnant, and so I didn't like say nothing, but I wanted to say that. And I noticed, I kind of felt that they were there for that reason, and so it was just not a good, like, hella crowded and all these people, and I was like, I can't, so we didn't go there. But yeah, I mean, so there's a few of those where they got put in the situation, but you know, like, I don't know how they tell that story, but my story is like, I felt like I was strong enough to say no because of my friendship with Steven, and it never got resolved. But I don't take nothing away from her either. But you know, whoever manipulated, it's just whoever making stories up and trying to make it into something that it wasn't. It's pretty bad. So that was one of them, and there's a few of them. It's already 1 minute left, or I'm gonna end it here because my energy's gone. I gotta go to work tomorrow. But I will make some more. I'm gonna make one hopefully when I get over there. Alright, later.